6 a.m. That means we all got to sleep in. There's usually some of you standing in line outside the JCC about now. Morning, Oliver. Linda, how you doing? Larry. Good morning. Sharon, staying? Hi, Sharon. Mary. Hi, Mary. I think he said Larry already, but hi again, Larry. Oh, well, good morning, everybody. 6 o'clock. You know, if this were actual boot camp, we would have been up for an hour and a half already. We'd all be in the shower after our workout. No, in this this time right now, people are posting their senior pictures as a support for the senior class this year. I was digging around. I realized I don't have a senior picture. Somehow or another, I missed out. My picture is not in my senior yearbook. But I do have, however, I should have brought one with me, the pictures of my my entrance into basic training, which was that summer. That's the closest thing I have to a senior picture. So, with that in mind, while you're coming on or waiting for people to get in, you can start loosening up. This exercise routine today is a little bit of an extension of what we did. You can all thank Linda for that, because Linda in the comments last week challenged me, and she said, "Was that it?" And I said, "Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should add something." So what I've done is expanded a little. So this workout is still really based on strength and really focusing on the push-up as the cornerstone of the workout, right? That it's a great exercise for building upper body strength. And we are going to wipe ourselves out today. At least that's my goal. I really hope if you've done this right that you'll get to the end and you really won't be able to do the last few exercises because we're all going to be so tired out. I expect that's what's going to happen to me. So we have 4 different routines today, just like the last routine or the last workout, with a little bit of variation. We do 3 exercises each one. We go through each series twice.
Says no.
Linda says no. What do you mean no? This is what you asked for. So three exercises. Where was I? See, I lost my train of thought. 3 exercises. We go through each series of 3 2 times. Each exercise we do for 1 minute. But the key to this routine is doing everything sort of slow. So when we do the push-ups, we're going to focus on negative work. And so in training lingo, negative work means it's really the part of a push-up when you're lowering yourself down. The positive work is the push-up. So when we do a push-up, for example, the negative is this part of the move, and that's the positive when I lift myself up. So we're going to emphasize negative work today. That doesn't mean you're not doing positive work, but when we do push-ups, we're going to focus on the lowering, and then at some point, you might not be able to lift yourself up. So if I'm doing a regular push-up, I get down like this, and if I can't do it, I'm just going to flop myself back up onto my hands and knees, get up, and then do the lowering down. And that's going to be our focus. Right? While we're talking about this, go ahead and do some arm swings. We're going to get loosened up. So it's 3 exercises. The first post today is going to be regular old vanilla push-ups, focusing on the negative, right? We're doing slow push-ups. Then we're going to get on the mat. We're going to do some crisscrosses, right? Bicycle abs. We do that for a minute, and then we finish with something called the low, slow step back, which is basically getting into a half crouch like this, and then stepping back to a lunge, and then coming back, but not coming all the way up. We stay down, okay? And you go for a minute. For any of these exercises, if you're really feeling burned, you just come up, you shake it out, you give yourself a little rest. The timer keeps running, and then we go from there, okay? So we've got about 5 minutes for warming up, and then we're going to get right to it. Farrah's got a timer going for us. You're going to hear some loud beeps, and that's going to be our cue to start doing the exercises. All right. The next 3 sets are similar. Another version of the push-up with an ab exercise followed by a leg exercise, everything for 1 minute. We do 3 exercises. We get a 45-second rest. We cycle through it again before we go to the next post. Everything's simple, basic, Nothing too fancy, not a lot of jumping around today. It's mostly strength, holding poses, getting low, and hopefully suffering in the most positive way. All right, so let's start out with a warm-up. I want you to spread your feet apart nice and wide and just put your arms out. Make a big X. This is right out of boot camp. This is old school exercise. What you're going to do is reach across your body and tap your toe with one arm, the other arm's going up. And we're just going to switch from one side to the other. We're going to do this about 10 times on each side, right? So it's one down to opposite side to come back up and then down the other. This is the warm-up move. If you just got out of bed, don't throw yourself into this. Keep it light, right? You don't have to go all the way down to start. Start maybe a little higher, like you're going to your shin. And each time you switch, right, you just come up straight, full extension, touch, and then come up again. Nice and easy. Breathe. So we want to warm up to get the heart pumping, the blood flowing. We want you to start breathing a little harder, right? You're priming your body for your workout. Now I'm actually not counting. I'm just doing a bunch of these until I start feeling some warmth. I want a little light stretching. Got about 3 minutes before we start the routine. So, all right, come on all the way up. Just go ahead and lift your knees up nice and high, one at a time. It's the simulated marching. Remember I told you back in the day we would get up and we would have to march from our barracks out to the field where we do the exercise, which is usually about a mile or two away. Then we'd work out, then we'd march back. Everywhere you went, you marched. Try lifting the knees higher out to the side, right? Bring an elbow down to your knee. So now I'm going to reach up and pull my elbow down. So a little oblique crunch, kind of standing. Again, nothing fancy. Just moving. Big body movements for your warm-up. I feel my new hip crunching. All right, good. Take it down to a twist. So I'm just rotating, breathing. Make sure you got some water today. If you want a mat, if you have one handy, we're on the floor quite a bit. I'm on a carpet, so it's not so bad for me. But if you want to pull your mat out, not a bad idea. Unless you're really hardcore and you just want to work out on cold cement. So if you're in your basement or something, toughen you right up. Good. All right, just kind of working on getting ready for those lunges. Hands out, feet about shoulder width. Drop down into a squat, a kind of free squat, right? Drop down, come up, nice and easy. You don't want your warm-up to totally exhaust you, but it should get you to be on the verge of sweating. Just a little over a minute to go before we start the real thing. Again, I'm not going for a specific number here. I'm just trying to warm up. So you're going for yourself, for your own feeling. Get the body feeling warm. Some jumping jacks. Again, I'm just moving, getting warm. Now, I told you I don't know if I'm going to make it through this today, so you're in charge of your workout. So when you need to rest midstream, you take a break, but try to push yourself right to those limits. Okay, we want to hit, especially with the push-up exercises, we're really trying to hit muscle failure by the end. Really, you're unable to fully lift yourself up with good technique. Okay, so first set of push-ups. We're getting down, we're emphasizing the low. So for 1 minute, you're going down for about 3 or 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can't, you pop up. If you can't, you lift yourself off the floor however you need to. So I'm getting down. Here we go. Regular push-up. Down slow, and then up quick. Just like that. Down slow. Remember the position of the hands for the push-up, right? The elbows are pointing back towards my feet. The hands are under my shoulders, a little outside shoulder width. And I'm bending backwards like that with the elbows, not out here. I'm going to turn a little bit of an angle here so you can see it. Down, slow, and then pop up. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is the lift. Emphasize the decline. And up. So down, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up. I'm not going all the way to the floor. You don't have to touch, but your shoulders should drop to elbow level. We've got 10 seconds left, and we're going to flip over for the crisscross. Now, when we do the crisscross, again, it's slow and focused. So on your back, crunch up, opposite elbow, opposite knee, and then switch. And then switch, okay? And what I want you to do, you keep going, but you're emphasizing the length here. I'm not cranking out a bunch. Push out, push that leg away, and really focus on the turn of my upper body, keeping an imprint of your back on the mat, right? So I'm not rolling from side to side with my hips. Got a full minute, just slow, steady, right, crunches. Now, this is the first minute, so this might not be so bad, but midway through, if you're hitting the wall, after 30, 40 seconds, you take a second, catch your breath, and then get right to it, right? Just to give your muscles a second to recover. But you only do that if you need it, right? Otherwise, you're going to push through the burn. We got 10 seconds, and then we're going to stand up and go to the low, slow step back. So it's basically doing a step back lunge in a crouch. So get in that crouch, step back, you drop the knee, and you come up. And this is where you stop. Drop down, come up. So, I'm sure you've heard Farah say this, time under tension. What we're doing here is keeping the load on the muscles constantly. So we're not coming up and taking a pause. No, stay down. Try to keep it in. Now you're pushing yourself at your own pace. I'm trying to keep my hands here. A modification would be to put a hand on the leg and use it to help you up if you needed it. So hopefully when we get to the later reps, you do need it, right? You're modifying a little. Oh, yeah, now it's starting to burn. I can feel the heat building up in the quads. And of course, the lower you sit, the worse it is, right? So if I'm standing up here, coming up, and then coming all the way up, it's not as bad. This, keeps the heat. Keeps the heat on. All right, so a little recovery, 45 seconds, light stretches. Maybe thinking about these kinds of routines in the future, so this is a rest, you can lengthen the rest, shorten the rest. Lengthen the length of time you do the exercises, make it shorter. We're doing 2 sets of each of these. You could do 3. Right today, we've got to get our workout in before planks with Pete, so I want to make sure you've got the time. All right, so back to the regular push-up. Remember, it's a slow descent. I'm going for 4 or 5 seconds down, quick push-up. We got 5 seconds before we get there. Here we go. The push-up, and then up. That's how they said it in boot camp. Some angry guy or woman in those wide-brimmed caps, glaring at you. They would say, the push-up, and you'd have to yell back, the push-up, drill sergeant. And then they would tell you to go. Down, slow, and then up. Usually they would tell you were doing it wrong while mispronouncing your last name. That was a theme. Nice, slow, controlled descent. Focusing on the negative. Really, the more time you spend doing this low descent, the better. So for a minute, if you do a 5-second push-up, you're only doing a dozen. We got 10 seconds, so maybe you got time to do this twice more. Remember, this is as much work as you make it. All right, flip it over for the crisscross. Right? Now, you can pick up the pace, but I want every rep to emphasize the fullest length you can create. Push that foot away. Twist your body. Really create the core, the pull in the core. Right? A little tug of the belly button. Right? I want technique. I want to emphasize every little part of these exercises so we slow it down and you put your concentration on each rep, trying to maximize the technique and the burn, right? I'm not just cranking through them, right? You can do this all day, but contract the muscles in the abs, pull the knee in, twist the upper body. Pull the knee in, contract the abs, twist. All right, low, slow step back. So we're back up in that half crouch, stepping back into a lunge, and then coming right back here. So I'm staying in that crouch. Now, if you can get lower than me, you go for it, right? I'm just doing I'm doing a controlled descent. See this? It's slow. Low and slow. Just hovering. Not going for plyos here, right? I want to create the burn by keeping the tension on the muscle constantly. I don't want it to relax. Oddly enough, stepping back is probably releasing for that leg. Slower is better, right? Emphasize it. As I sit back, am I lining up? Am I tracking my knee and my foot and keeping them in line with my hip? Or is there something weird happening? Are you wobbling? Is there something, right, buckling outward or inward? All right. You got a 45-second rest period. Drink some water if you need it. Definitely feeling a little fatigue in the muscles. So the second post, we're doing another push-up. This is a Spider-Man push-up. So this is sprawled out, wide arms, wide legs. Our ab exercise is a reverse curl. So lying on the back, peeling the feet over the top. And then the leg exercise is a single leg hip thrust. So you'll be lying on your back with one leg up, thrusting your hip to the ceiling. We do 5 on each leg before we switch and do 5 on the other. And you do that for a minute. So Spider-Man push-up. Wide hands, wide feet, spreading yourself out and bending down. Now, when I do the Spider-Man push-up, again, my hands from my body like this, they're lower than my shoulders, not up here. The elbows are bending outward, way to the side. And I also like to turn my fingers out like this, okay? And I'm doing that same pattern. Down, slow, and then press up. So I'm digging the heel of my palm into the floor to focus the pressure into and I'm pushing up. Nice wide elbows, feet spread apart wide. The wider you make it, the better. Down, slow, up. Down, slow. Now, are you keeping your body straight? Right? No sagging. Remember, you can always modify by putting the knees down. Continue. And if you're really not able to do that push, then you drop yourself down, you flop on the floor, you come up, then you go. But switch to reverse curl. So lying on your back, slipping my hands under my hips. I like to cross one ankle and then curl over and then down slow. Staying on that theme, right? Curl it over, slow descent. I'm using my palms here on the floor for a little support. They can stay under the hips to help support the lower back. Now, when I do the curl part here, I'm not swinging my legs. I'm pulling, you can't tell it, but I'm pulling my abs. Like that's a crunch. And I pull and curl, and then down slow. You can go a little past your hips for a little extra. Five seconds of rest. Sounds like we lost the mic. It's all right. So you're resting now, 45 seconds. Catch your breath. I don't know if you can still hear me. Oh, That's all right. Take the mic off. Sometimes it glitches on us, so. All right, resting, 45 seconds. We'll put the timer closer to the microphone so you can hear it. All right, if you can't hear me, I'm gonna sign. All right, Spider-Man push-up. All right, down, slow, and pop it up. Down, slow. Put your emphasis on that downward move, right? Make it last, savor it. Down, slow. You let Farrah know if you can still hear us. Whether or not you can hear me, I'm still working.
They can hear us. They can hear us.
Well, you can talk right to them then, Farrah, because you're right next to the microphone. Right, keep your body straight. Remember, you can always drop down to the knees if you need it. And if you can't lift yourself up, flop, get up, and then lower yourself down. Slow and control. 10 seconds. Then we're going to reverse curl. All right, reverse curl. So hands under the hips for support. Crunch the abs. Pull with the stomach muscles. Right, so I say crunch the abs. What do I mean by that? What I mean is use just like if you're flexing your bicep, you're going to try to do the same thing. Contract the stomach muscles to pull the pelvis up off the mat, and then again, lower it down slow. It's that slow lowering that we're really after. Right? Fighting your way down. So notice your technique when you do that. When you come back and you lower down, does your head come way up off the floor? Try to keep it down into the mat. Are your shoulders popping up? Try to hold them down. Are the arms doing something funny? Compensate. 10 seconds. This is what happens when you're the instructor. You get to look at people and talk at them and take a rest, right? All right, single leg hip thrust. One knee in, 5 reps. 1, 2, right, flex that glute. 3, 4, 5. Notice also, see how I'm lifting my toes up? It's not required, but I find that when I lift my toes, it really emphasizes that press into the heel so I can focus on the hamstring a little more and the glute. Remember, 5 at a time. You keep going. If I stop to talk, you keep working. Now, when I'm doing these hip thrusts, pull this knee in tight. You could use your hands, but I really want you to try to use the strength of this leg to hold that knee in as tight as you can. That will actually cause you to emphasize the glute a little more. And then reverse it. You can see how much weaker this hip is. This is the new hip side, so I can't pull that knee in as close. All right, we're resting for 45 seconds. Get some water. So now we go to another series. We go to a diamond push-up. A diamond push-up, for those of you who don't know, is putting the hands together under your chest and lowering like this, okay? So if I do a diamond, bending down, chest comes to my hands, and then pressing up. I find it a little easier to do the diamond with the feet spread wider. If the diamond is too difficult, you can widen out a little bit more and do it as more of a tricep push-up. But if you can do the diamond, I want you to shoot for it. Remember, you can do the diamond from the knees, and you can also do the negative, and then focus on the lift. Here we go. So once we finish these diamonds, these should be the hardest one so far, we go into a quad alternating extension, which means we get on all fours, hands and knees, and then we extend one leg back and the opposite arm. And then we crunch up. So we pull the elbow and the knee together under us, and then we extend out. We do 5 on one side, and then we switch and do 5 on the other, and we continue that for a minute. And after that, we do another low, slow leg exercise. Right, low. I'm going down low. I'm going down slow.
starting to fade on the up part. So, what do? Ugh. If I can't lift myself, we got 10 seconds of these, by the way. I flop down, I get up, and then I just fight my way down again. All right, quad extension. Opposite arm, opposite leg extend, then pull the elbow and the knee together under you. 1 and 2. Again, emphasize the length of your body here. Once we finish 5, I put them down, do the other side. Extend, lift that arm and leg, right? Reach and lift. Extend as far out away from your body as you can in both directions. Crunch, reach, crunch. Slow and methodical. And once you do 5, switch sides. 1. So every time I reach back, I want to feel my glute tighten up. Every time I reach forward, I want to feel that shoulder and that arm tighten. And in the middle, I'm still tensing up the abs. Switching sides. So again, you're not doing as many repetitions if you're emphasizing the most. All right. Back up now. Get in a low horse stance right out of my karate program. And what you're going to do is come in and go out. Come in and go out. And I'm just doing this little low, slow horse stance. Now, this is the easier version, okay? For a little more work, you can do a little, right, hop in and out. But again, I'm trying to stay in that low position. So, lower impact, right? They're both painful, right? You don't have to jump. The jump puts just that much more oomph in the work, right? And I'm emphasizing, not going for speed, going for technique. Back is up straight, right? Staying in that crouch, right? Sitting back into my butt as I open, nice and wide, knees and toes turning out. All right. Got a 45-second rest. Now, all of this is as difficult as you make it. Sadly, this is an exercise routine you can skate through if you really kind of keep yourself up high, if you do half range of motion, right? There's lots of ways that we can sort of cheat ourselves from the work. So, by the way, if you're finding some of this easy, there are ways to make it more difficult. You can go slower. You can go for power, kind of plyometric versions of these. Maybe we'll do some of that next time. I'll show you some of those examples. All right, so we'll go back to the diamond push-ups. Here we go. Slow descent, right? Negative work. If you still got the push up, then you do it. If you don't, you can put the knees down and push up. If you can't do that, remember, flop, get yourself up, and then fight your way down. I still got some positives in me. It's one way to gauge the workout. That by the time we're done, you're still able to lift yourself. Well, Dave, you need to add something else. Right, Linda? That's it, right? That's it. All right, so after this set, we go to the extensions. Down slow. Is your body staying straight? If not, then you can adjust. You can do one of your modifications. Right, 10 seconds of slow descent. All right, we're going back to quads, opposite arm leg extension. Now, see that reach? I'm pushing my heel back to the side of the room, and I'm pushing that fist. I'm making a fist here to the other side. Then I'm pulling them together and then pushing. Emphasize the length. Maximize it. This is really about pushing the limits. At each rep, once you do 5, switch sides. So push. You should feel that glute tighten up. On here you can crunch, pull with the abdominals, push that arm away, push that leg away. Not looking for numbers here. Technique. Maybe you're going to end up doing this twice on each side. You can pick up the pace. Excuse me. Pick up the pace, but as long as you're emphasizing the technique. low jack. So I'm getting super low, doing either my side steps. Oh, there it is. Or the jack in, jack out. Okay? The pace is up to you. So you could be doing this, right, for a little more, but I'm trying to sink a little bit in each one of those. Keep the tension loaded up into the muscles. Even if you have to stop, you can just stand here. When I tested for my first degree black belt, I had to stand like this for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. By the time I was done, I really wasn't able to stand up any longer, but.
Jacks.
What's that?
You gotta do jacks.
What do you mean I gotta do jacks? Farrah's telling me I gotta do jacks. This is what happens when you live with another trainer.
Okay.
All right, 45 seconds of rest. Oh, you can't have a trainer watching you film your session because, what?
Round 4.
We're on round 4. Round 4, Cobra push-up. This should be the worst, okay? A Cobra push-up is pushing back into a down dog and then lower yourself down, getting your chest to scrape as close to the ground as you can, and then you come up, and then you go back, down low, and then push yourself back, okay? Are you ready? You gotta do this for a minute. Down slow, scrape your nose right along the ground, get your chest on the ground, lift it up, extend, stretch, and then drop down, chest to the ground, nose right along the ground, push back, lift your hips, make that a stretch for the hamstrings, and repeat, slow, right, scraping the ground, hovering, I'm not touching, I'm just brushing the carpet. Oh, it's hard to talk like this. Whew. Slow and methodical. Try to get your body to go through the whole range. Now, what can you do to modify this? Well, you could shift back here, lift up, and just do this part. So if you feel like you can't do the lift, you can skip it. This is brutal, though. Feels good. All right, our next exercise, you keep going. We're doing a plank jack into a hover. So what we're going to do, come up into the plank. Lower one elbow down, lower the other down, then come back up, and then do 4 jacks. Down, down, up, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, up. Now, remember when you're going down, down, up, up, you can alternate which hand you go down with first. Okay, so I was going down my left, I'm gonna go right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll go left, right, left, right. You alternate. Don't worry if you forget. You can always change back. You can always bring it back together. See, I'm forcing myself to rest in here. All right, so the next exercise, while you're finishing those, multi-directional lunge. So you're gonna get the timer. You're going to stand up. You're going to start by getting that low crouch. You're going to lunge straight to the front. Then you're going to come back. Then you're going to, same leg, lunge straight to the back. Then you're going to lunge to the side. Straighten this leg out, bend. And then you're going to lunge across, curtsy. Come back up. And then we do the other leg. So forward. Same leg back. Same leg side. Straighten, lower. Same leg behind. And then we switch, right? Front. Make sure you got room behind me. Back. Side. And then cross. Curtsy, right? And then we switch. Front. I'm getting closer to you guys. Back. Remember, emphasize the technique. And cross. Well, you got 10 seconds, so we do this again. 1. All right, stretch it. You got a little rest period. Then we do that one more time. Cobra push-up. Right, alternating hovers. Lower, lower, lift, lift with 4 plank jacks. And then the multi-directional lunge. Remember, you can pick up the pace. I will go a little slower to demonstrate it since the first time. Going slow, I'll tell you, it should make it harder. It should make it more work. All my life as a martial arts instructor, we spend that time. Do the technique slow, do it slow, do it slow, be methodical. Then you can go faster when your technique is solid. So learning and practicing technique is all about slowing it down. Here we go. Cobra push-up. 1 minute of this. Whew. And then back. Remember the modifications. The knees can hit the floor at any point here. Right? I can do the whole thing down here on the knees. Full extension. Make this a stretch for the abs. Drop down low. Slide your body along the floor. Push up. If you're staying on your feet, make this part a nice stretch for the hamstrings and the calf muscles. And then back down. Scrape the floor. Come on. Push back. Feel the shoulders burning. Go slow. Take your time. Savor each rep. Right? Taking a nice long taste of it. Oh, this tastes pretty good. Yeah, what's that burn feel like? Right? Hang out there.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Exercise 2.
Plank hovers. Right? So, down, down, up, up. 4 jacks. Down, down, up, up. Remember, you can alternate. Don't worry about whether you forget, like I just did. If the jack is a little much too, if you're really fading, you can just do a step. You don't want to do the hop, right? Lower, lower, lift, lift. Then I can just do alternating taps. Or back here. Always modify when you need it. We got about 15 seconds left. Are you breathing hard? Remember.
3, 2.
Multi-directional lunge.
Exercise 3.
1 minute. Front, back, side, cross, right? And once you know the pattern, you put them together a little quicker. Front, right after the other. Right, I'm trying to go continuous. Instead of kind of pausing for a second, thinking about it, and doing the next one, whoop. We'll go right into it. Front, back, side, cross, whoop. Switch, front, back, side, and curtsy. Try to keep that leg, the front foot, flat on the floor when you do the curtsy lunge, right? Sometimes you might come up on your toe. I'm using my hands here for balance. And then back again.
3, 2.
Finish this
1.
if you're like me and you're in the middle of one. Go ahead and finish it. All right. Nice job, everybody. We're at the end. So we've got Farrah says 10 burpees. What did I tell you about living with another trainer? 10 burpees, everybody. She doesn't like me. You ready? I'm not ready for this. All right, 10 burpees. Ready? Hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apparently she thinks we didn't do enough. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Nice. Look, I love all you guys. Now I know why when you take classes with Farrah, see, now she's telling me we have to do 20 mountain climbers. How much time have we got left? Planks with Pete's next.
You're good.
20 mountain climbers. Ready? Hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. All right. No, we're not doing 10 jump squats. Okay. She says 10 jump squats. Down low, hit the ceiling 10 times. Don't hit it with your head if you're in your basement. Ready? I'm going to face you for these last 10. Here we go. 1. See how I push back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now you're done. Thank you, Farah. You know, when picking life partners, one can always ask the question whether you should have another trainer. Of course, the obvious answer to that question is, if it's Farah, you say yes.
1 minute.
All right, we got a minute to chat and recover. Straight, get some water. So coming up next, planks with Pete. Give him hell. Say hi to him. And then later today at 9 or 9:30, I believe, Ahmad is doing his HIIT class. Check the schedule if you feel like doing another workout after these two. Otherwise, you guys have a great day, and I will see you next Tuesday for some more of this fun. Later, everybody.